Hey, it's Lauren. So today I'm going to take the opportunity to tell you a little story about a job I had, I guess, about 15 years ago at this point. It was my first job outside of college, and it happened to be at this law firm in Nassau County. And, I had gotten the job through like a temp to perm service, I think. And it was kind of weird because I guess the interview for this job happened to be at a Starbucks of all places. But I mean, that's kind of not the point of the story. But anyway, I got a job in the mailroom at this place, and the basic gist of what we were supposed to be doing was that you would go around in a circuit. We were each assigned a section of the building. There was like three and later four sections when they expanded into the fourth floor. And your job was just to go around, collect any mail that the attorneys or paralegals had sitting in their outbox, and bring them any new stuff that was either routed from someone else, like the legal papers that they shared among the partners, or new mail that had come in. 9 o'clock in the morning, if I remember correctly, and this is thinking back a ways. One of us would have to go to the local post office, pick up the bucket or two of mail for the law firm, and then once we brought it back, it would be all hands on deck as everybody would open the mail, stamp it, and sort it, and then we would get it where it needed to go. We had a couple of other extra duties alongside that. Copy jobs, monitoring the fax machines, and kind of just doing, I guess, whatever administrative support needed to happen. And there was usually about five of us, one supervisor and about four employees. And just I guess to take an aside, I have to say that well, most of my coworkers were relatively fun to work with, and it was also nice having a job that was normal day hours instead of having to work at the bookstore around my college schedule. But I guess the only weird thing was that the supervisor I had at the time, I could never read her. I mean, she was always kind of one of those people that had the same expression all the time. So I never knew if she was happy, if it was good to make a joke or whatnot. So I was always kind of walking on eggshells. But anyway, one of the things about this job was that we all had, I guess, once a week or maybe it was daily, but every periodically we had to quote unquote clean the kitchens. The building being as large as it was, it had a kitchen in each section, kitchen on both wings and a kitchen on the fourth floor. And we each got assigned one of these kitchens to clean out. And I think every so often we would have to clear out the fridge. And I'll never forget the first time I had to do this job because it was kind of one of those things that I've noticed at in terms of like work fridges compared to your fridge at home, people have the tendency to just be pigs. And for some reason, your home fridge, you generally keep stuff from getting it from sitting there too long. You have a lot more stuff there because, it's your fridge and you're keeping food around just for whatever. But, at work fridges, it's like, my current job, I take the lunch that I'm going to eat for today, and then I eat it that same day. And I don't really ever leave stuff or stockpile a bunch of lunches. It's like I always grab what I need for the day, and that's all I ever have in the fridge. Now, the only exception to this, I guess, might be if I forget lunch, then I usually have to rely on one of my emergency backup plans because I have a couple of shelf stable items in my cubicle that are there just in case I need some lunch. So, I'm covered just in case I run out the door, run late, something, forget to grab something, so I'm good. But anyway, at the law firm, first time we had to clean out the fridges and get rid of anything that needed to be gotten rid of. Now, the first time I had to do this job, I opened the fridge, started emptying everything out, and I came across two items that were of particular note. One of which was one of those little plastic kind of like deli containers, and it was already bursting from pressure or something. I knew better than to open this thing, and it was, it probably had to be rotten. I don't know how long it must have been there, but it was clearly saying do not open and just throw away, especially because it was one of those generic plastic tubs and clearly didn't belong to anybody in terms of like somebody's Tupperware. Even if it had, it would have been complicated. But fortunately, I was just able to toss that one. But the other thing that was something I don't think I've ever quite forgotten because it was just so bizarre. It's like I found a bunch of cold cuts in the fridge, and these things, and I don't know how this happened because I didn't even know it was possible. But these cold cuts were so hard, you could crack them against the table and they wouldn't even break. It was literally just so hard you could rap it against the table and nothing happened. And I don't know who left it in there, or I think it was originally supposed to be some sort of chicken or turkey or something. But it's like I don't think I've ever forgotten finding those two items the first time I ever had to clean that fridge. I don't think it was ever that bad after that, but it was just like the first time. It's just I don't know. The fact that cold cuts apparently can be in the fridge long enough to become a solid object was just mind blowing to me. And yeah, all in all, I worked at the law firm, I guess, for about a year until I moved to Texas because it was the first and only job I had after college, but before moving here. And that was just, I guess, the story of my working at the law firm. I mean, there, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a decent enough job, but of course, particularly one of the things I really didn't like about it was that it was in Garden City. So, I lived in Suffolk County. So to give you some context, it would take an hour and 10 minutes of driving to get to work and an hour and 10 minutes back. So I was getting gas 3 times a week. And while that was okay for a while, I think, definitely after a year, I was ready to give it up and move on to something else. These days I much prefer my 15-minute commute to and from work. So, moving on up and all that. But other than, I mean, I guess all in all, I guess at some point I should recount all the jobs I've had, but I think it was just like 5 or 6 actual jobs that I've had. But anyway, that was the story of the law firm and the stuff I found in the fridge, which I guess has gone on longer than I planned. But anyhow, that's it for now. So enjoy my funny story, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!